Hello, welcome to Tabletop Baseball Plus. This is the Ron Guidry replay from 1978, a year in which he went 25-3, I believe is what it was. All of a sudden, I'm a little blank on it, but I think it was 25-3. And he's 10-3 in the replay through 16 games. This is game 17. They're going to be playing the Detroit Tigers, which is the same team they played like 2 games ago. Yankees, here's what actually happened. The Yankees won it 3-2. Guidry got the win, moved to 13-0. He went 8 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 1 home run. So I think it's the same lineup, I believe, for the Tigers. A little different for the Yankees. They're going to go Johnstone, Nettles, Munson, Chambliss, Piniella, Jackson, Thomason, Garcia, Stanley. It's Dave Rozema on the mound again. Same guy. So it's a rematch of 2 games ago. And let's get this party started. Ron LaFleur. Leading off, a 1-5 is a 4 and a 1-5. This is going to be a strikeout. And we have 1 away. And I need to bring up my feed real quick. While it's doing that, here's Steve Kemp. 4-3. 4-3 is a 16. And then a 4-6, second base. Second baseman is Garcia, a 3. So a 19 in column 4. It'll be a grounder out at first. And there's 2 up, 2 down. Rusty Staub, the DH. And it is a 5-4, which is a 1, and a 5-2, which is a 1. So a 2 in column 5 is a grounder to first. Nothing across for the Tigers. Here comes the Yankees. Hello, Brian. 5-4 is a 1, and a 5-5 is a 2. So a 3 in column 5 is going to be a grounder to second. Greg Nettles, 2-5, 16, and a 2-6 is a 5, so a 21 in column 2, and that's going to be a fly out to left. Thurman Munson, 3-2, 11, and a 3-1 is a 2, so 13 in column 3. Lines out to short. That's a 0. Top of the second, Jason Thompson, the first baseman, 4-2, an 11, and a 4-3. Third base, so that's going to be a 12, and that'll be possible error. And let's see, we got to probably roll all 3 dice. 33, that's going to be less than Nettles. He's a 45. So he will make the play. 5-3 ground out. Aurelio Rodriguez, a 3-4, 30, and a 3-6. And that's a 1, so a 31 in column 3 is a fly out to left. Or line out is what it says, line out to left. Mickey Stanley, 5-2, 27, and a 5-5. 3. So a 30 in column 5. 30 in column 5 is a fly out to center. Bottom of the second, Chris Chambliss, 6'4", 51, and a 6'3 is a 2, so 53 in column 6. 53 in column 6 is a line drive hit to right field. Runners advance 1 base. There's no runners. Chance for extra bases, though. Roll one die against the outfielder's defensive rating. If it's higher, it's at least a double. And it's hit to the center fielder. Well, it says right field, hit to the right fielder. Or you can use the blue die, and the blue die would say center field, but it says hit to right field. So why would I want to change it? I don't know. I'm going to go with what it says, hit to right field. He's a left-hander anyway. And the right fielder Stanley is a 3. So if it's higher than a 3, and it's not, it's a 1. So it is a single. So Chambliss leads off with a single. Brings up Lou Piniella. 5-5 is a 40 and then a 5-6. 43, column 5. We have base on balls. So it's a walk, and we have runners at first and second with nobody out. Reggie Jackson. 5-6 is a 20, and then a 5-2 is a 1. So 21 in column 5 is a walk. And check him of the action chart for further on-base action. We have bases loaded and possibly a wild pitch, maybe a 3. POE, possible error on pickoff attempt. Roll against pitcher's error rating. If it's higher, all runners advance one base on pitcher's throwing error. His error rating, roll against, okay. He's a 66. Rosema, 66. 36, so it's not higher. Runner gets back safely, no error. So Reggie, I guess, I don't know. Somebody was trying to steal there, apparently. Chambliss maybe on third, trying to go home. Here's Gary Thomason. 2-5. 2-5's a 3. And a 2-2 is a 5. So an 8 in column 2, and that's a foul out to third. Not good. Got the bases loaded here. Damaso Garcia. It's a 1-5 is a 4. And a 1-2 is a 5, so a 9. One 5 is a 4 and 1-2 is a 5. So 9 in column 1. That's a pop out to short. Unless the batter has a little caret symbol, he does not. He does up there. No, he doesn't. He does not have it. So runners hold. If he would have had that, it would have been a sac fly. But instead, it's a pop out to short. So 2 pop outs after bases loaded with nobody out. And here's Fred Stanley. 1-6 is a 45. 1-3 is a 5. So 50, column 1. And it's going to be a comebacker to the pitcher. Strikeout or comebacker to the pitcher. With second base and shortstop playing halfway, it's a comeback to the pitcher. Let's see, bases loaded. They are all halfway, so it would be a comebacker to the pitcher. And bases loaded, it's a force out at home. But he would probably just, with 2 outs, go to first. That's what I'm going to call it. So disappointing second inning there. They start out with the bases loaded, nobody out, cannot score a run. All right. See you in a minute, Brian. Lance Parrish, a 3-6. It's a 42, and then a 3-5. 3-5's a 1, so 43. It's going to be the lefty-righty it'll be a single. It's a right versus left matchup. So Lance Parrish singles. Alan Trammell, 6'5", 31, 6'4", 33, column 6. And that will be a strikeout because it's an out, but he has a K. Guidry does, so it's a strikeout. One away, one on. Lou Whitaker, 4'6", is a 3, and a 4'4". Is the shortstop. Stanley, a 3, so it's a 6 in column 4. With the infield halfway, could be a double play. First and second double play, but it's a 6. So we got to check. We have to check the double play pivot option. So second baseman is Garcia. He's a 3. And we roll one die. We get a 2. And he's a 3, and we get a 2. So 1 to 4 is a double play on a 6. So it is a 6, 4, 3. Double play, they turn it. Leadoff single goes for naught. Here's Jay Johnstone. 1-4, 35. And then a 1-1 is a 5. So 40. It's a ground ball to short. Greg Nettles, 4-3, 1 and a 4. 1 is up here. 4-1's a ground ball to first. So 2 away. Thurman Munson, a 2-3, 16, and a 2-6 is a 5. So 21. Column 2. Flies out to left. And we go to the 4th inning. Still no score. 3-2 for LaFleur. A 29 and a 3-2 is a 30, column 3, and that's a line out to left. Steve Kemp, 4-4 is a 19, 4-3. Third base, that's going to make it a 20 because Nettles is a 1. 20 in column 1's a grounder out at first, but he may beat it out. We got to check with the first base umpire. It's a bang-bang play. It's a 6. He is safe. A 1 or a 6, and he's safe, and he got the 6. Infield hit for Steve Kemp. Rusty Staub, 1-5 is a 5 and a 1-6. That'll be a strikeout. So 2 away. Still no score, though. He didn't miss any scoring. 2-3. 2-3 is a 2. And a 2-1 is a 1. So a 3, column 2 is a strikeout. Just had a bang-bang play there at first. Steve Kemp, he was safe. But then Guidry comes back and strikes out the next 2. Here's Chris Chambliss. Singled his first time up. 6-2 is an 8. And a 6-1 is a 2. So a 10, that's going to be a single. He's 2 for 2. Here's Lou Piniella. 2-3, 2, and a 2-1 is a 5. So a 7 in column 2 is a foul out to second base. 2 away, or 1 away. Reggie Jackson, a 1-3 is a 1, and a 1-3 is a 6. That's going to be a strikeout. So 2 away, Gary Thomason. 1-4 is a 2, and a 1-6 is a 5. That's a 7. And it's going to be a pop out to second. So top of the 5th. Still no score. Aurelio Rodriguez, 6'1", 31, 6'4", is a 2, so 33, and that's going to be a strikeout. thanks to the K on Guidry's card. 2-4 for Mickey Stanley at the 3. And then a 2-1. So a 4 in column 2 is a strikeout. And that's 4 in a row. 3-2 for Lance Parrish is a 2, and then a 3-4. 3 in column 3 is a dribbler to the catcher. Bottom of the 5th. Damaso Garcia. 5-4 is a 27 and a 5-3. 28 in column 5. It's a fly out to right. Fred Stanley, a 4-2, is a 17 and a 4-3. Third base. Rodriguez is a 1, so an 18 in column 4. And that will be a grounder out at first. So 2 away, Jay Johnstone, bases clear, 6-4, 58, and a 6-6, 62 total. Column 6, and that's a double. Double for Johnstone with 2 outs. Here's Nettles. 3-1 is a 4. And we need to check, is that going to change? 55. It is going to change to a 5. Changes to a 5, and then a 3-1. So a 7 in column 3, and that's a single to left. Check for third base coach for any extra base attempts. So by changing that to a 5, that got him a single. Otherwise, it would have been an out. So a single, and Johnstone, he may score here. Third base coach. Speed minus arm. Johnstone's a 3. And it was hit to left field. And a 3 on the arm of Kemp. So a 0. 0, and we have a 7. And that will be extra base plus. Okay, so lead runner safe, advancing extra play, trailing runners may move up. Batter must have speed higher than the die roll to move up. Nettles is a 2, so he's not going to move up. RBI single though. 1-0 Yankees. And here's Thurman Munson. And that's a 4-1's a 1, and a 4-2 will be a ground out to second base. That ends the inning, but they get a run. Go to the top of the 6th. Here's Alan Trammell. 5-1. 5-1's a 4, and a 5-4 is a 2, so a 6 in column 5 is a walk. Boo. So Lou Whitaker, I think he's going to bunt. He's a 1. He is a 1. And we get a 7. We'll consider him in, I guess. Sacrifice plus E. Okay, sacrifice. Fielder has trouble fielding bunt. Roll against fielder's error rating. And 2 was the fielder. 2 is the pitcher. The blue die was a 2, so roll against the fielder's error rating. If it's higher, batter's safe. Guidry is a 51. It's not higher, 25. So, not higher. Fielder recovers to retire batter on sacrifice bunt. So it's a good sack bunt. Trammell's at second. Here's LaFleur. RNGIDP. Good afternoon or evening. 4-4 is a 1. And then a 4-1 is the first baseman, Chambliss. And he is a 2, so it's a 3 in column 4. We have a man on second with 1 out, so he's going to be playing back. Everybody's back. Let's see, and it was a 4. 4-4, yeah. It was a 3. It was a 3 in column 4. So it's a grounder out at first. Runners advance 1 base. Runner on second holds on grounder to short. But it was not to short. So it is a grounder to first. And Trammell moves to third with 2 outs. Here's Steve Kemp. The 1-3 is a 3 and a 1-5. That's going to be a strikeout. Big strikeout there. Detroit threatens a little bit. Bottom of the 6th, 1-0. 6 2s and 8. Chambliss, he's got Rosema's number. 6 2s and 8, and a 6-1 is a 2, so that's a 10. That's a single to center. 3 for 3 for Chris Chambliss. Now Lou Piniella, thinking about possibly pinch hitting here. I'm thinking about bringing in Jim Spencer. It's a DH. He's a lefty. To replace Piniella, I think I'm going to. And he may not stay in the rest of the game. He may just come in for right now. So I'm going to, for now, he's going to stay in. But if they change pitchers to a lefty, he will not stay in. Rosema will pitch to him. 1-6, 45, and a 1-1. So 50, column 1 is a comebacker to the pitcher with second and short playing halfway, and they are with the runner on first. Ground ball back to the pitcher, throws with force out at second. And try for double play. So roll 1 die against the pitcher's defensive rating. If it's higher, scored as a double play. Oh, okay, yeah, Jackson is DHing. Spencer, I don't know what I was thinking, but you're right, Jackson is DHing. Piniella will come out. And I'll put a new guy in. Okay, thanks for catching me on that. Okay, so roll 1 die against the pitcher's defensive rating. If it's higher, scored as a double play. Defensive rating's a 3. It's a 2, so it's not higher. So batter beats the relay throw. So it is a fielder's choice. 1-6. So Piniella's out. Now Reggie, the DH. The real DH. 6-1, and that's a 8 versus a right-hander. And a 6-2, and that's a 10 total. And that is a single to center. Runner advances 1 base. Unless there's 2 outs, and there's not. First and second. With 1 out, Gary Thomason. 3-1 is a 4, and then a 3-6. So a 9 total in column 3, and that's a single to right field. And everybody's going to move up 1 for sure. Let's see, check with the third base coach for any extra base attempts. Single to right. So it's running speed minus arm. We've got Spencer is at first, or at second base. And he's a 2. And Stanley is a 3, so minus 1. And we get a 2. Minus 1 and a 2. Extra base cutoff. Extra base cutoff. Lead runner is safe. Advancing an extra base as throw is cut off. Play is made on closest trailing runner. Roll 1 die against that runner's speed. If the die is higher than the speed, runner's out. So play is made on Jackson. He was at first, trying for third. He's a 4. And it is a 4. If it's higher, then he's out. If it's not higher, he advances safely. So Jackson moves to third. Spencer scores. And it's an RBI for Thomason. Now we have first and third with 1 out. Garcia, 8-9 batters coming up. 1-5 is a 4 and a 1-2 is a 5, so a 9. That'll be a pop out. He does not have the caret symbol, so it'll be a pop out to short. So 2 away. Fred Stanley is 6'6". Uh-oh. That is an 8. And he's a right-hander, 35. Right-handed batter, 35 is going to fall right there, so it's going to drop to a 7. It'll drop to a 7 and then a 6-4. Off Rosema is a 2. So that makes it a 9. And a 9 in column 6 is a single to center. Runners advance 2 bases with 2 outs. And first and third again, they're going to go to the bullpen. It will be John Hiller. As he could not get the 8-9 batters out. So first and third, 2 outs. Jay Johnstone, it's a lefty-lefty. 1-1's a 2, and then a 1-4. That'll be a strikeout. 2 runs for the Yankees, and they lead it 3-0. And the new left fielder. Now, can Jackson go in and left? Can I move Jackson to left? And then put Spencer DH? Of course, I don't want him DHing anyway, but because they brought in a lefty. Just out of curiosity. I think it's going to be Paul Blair will come in. He'll play left field. He is a 365 and a 3 arm and a 2 speed. You don't see why not? So it's going to be Chambliss, then Blair. He's just going to go in and left. We'll simplify things. Rusty Staub will lead off here in the 7th. 4-1 is a 2, and then a 4-5. It's a grounder to short. Thompson, 3-4. 3-4 is a 57. And a 3-4, 58, column 3. Possible rare play. It's an even roll though, so we use 53 through 57. It's a dribbler to the mound. Roll one die against the runner speed. If the die is higher, he's out. Runner speed, Jason Thompson, is a 3. And it's a 4, so he will be out. 1-3 put out. If the DH comes out, the pitcher has to start batting. Well, he didn't come out, did he? Oh, yeah, I didn't take the DH out. Yeah, I'm not real 100% clear on that DH rule. 1-2 is a 35, and the 1-6 is a 1, so 36, and that'll be a ground ball to third. But Reggie is still in the ball game. So John Hiller faced one batter. He's going to come back out. He's got Nettles, a lefty, 2-2, 11, and a 2-4. So a 12 in column 2, and that will be a pop out to first. He has a little asterisk there. So one away. Thurman Munson, 6'2", is an 8. Versus the lefty, 6'2" is an 8, and then a 6'1" is a 1, so a 9. That'll be a single. One out single. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's 3 for 3. 5-2 is a 27, and then a 5-6. 31 in column 5. He has the K there. So that will be a strikeout. If the pitcher has a K besides the column 5 grade, and the result is an out with runners on base, it is a strikeout. And that's exactly what we have. Now Paul Blair getting his first action of the day. 1-1 is a 2, and 1-6 will be a strikeout. 8th inning. So Hiller has gone an inning. He can go. He's gone an inning and one batter, so he can go 4 more batters, I believe. Pitcher would have to bat if the DH came out. Okay, good to know. Mickey Stanley, 1-6 is a 45 and a 1-1, so 46 in column 1 is a strikeout. Thank you, Al Red Sox fan, and Larry Harris is here. Lance Parrish is a 2-3, is a 2, and then a 2-2. So a 3 in column 2, and that's a strikeout. Alan Trammell, 6'2", it's a 41, and a 6'4" is a 2, so 43 in column 6. And that will be a line hit to left, line single to left. And chance for extra bases. Roll one die against the outfielder's defensive rating. Left fielder is Blair. He is a 3. He is a 3. That's higher the run. Well, hold on. Roll one die against the outfielders. Even if the die is higher, it's a double. So it needs to be higher than a 3. It is not. So it's a single. We have 2 outs. Lou Whitaker, 6'5" is a 36, and a 6'2" is a 1. So 37 in column 6 is a strikeout. So 3 Ks in the inning. Guidry's pitching a fine game. And now here's Reggie. 6'5", 36, 6'4", 38 in column 6, and that's a strikeout. Hiller's come in and done a nice job himself. He's facing a lot of lefties too. 6'4", or 2-4. 2-4. There's a 2 and a 2-4. So a 3 is a strikeout. Four five. 4-5 is a 2 and a 4-5. That will be a ground ball to short, and that'll be the end of the inning. So it's last call. Last call for the Tigers, top of the order. Ron LaFleur, a 3-4. 57 and a 3-3. 58 in column 3, and that's the rare play possibility. But it's going to be a dribbler to the mound. He has a chance to beat it out. Roll one die against the runner speed. If it's higher, he's out. LaFleur is a 5. So it has to be a 6. And guess what? I did not change it. It was a 6. Amazingly, they bang bang play. They got him. I think maybe the umpire just wants to get this game over. Maybe called him out. No instant replay. So 5-6 is a 5. And then a 5-5. So an 8 in column 5 is going to be a walk. Second walk for Guidry. Here's Staub. 3-4 is an 11. 3-5. So 12 in column 3, and that's a line out to first. Runner holds. Clarkerots. Beatles. So down to their final out. Kemp's at first. They're down 3-0. Jason Thompson, 16. 6'1's a 16. And a 6'3 is a 17. That'll do it. That's going to be a fly out to left. It'll actually be a strikeout. Guidry goes out, finishes the game in style with a strikeout. And he gets the W. 3-0 shutout. It was 3-2, and then in real life 3-2, but Detroit could not get those 2 runs here. So Guidry goes 9. W 9 gives up just 3 hits, 3-hitter. He gave up 6 hits in the real game, no runs. Walks, I believe there was just 2. And then strikeouts. Strikeouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 strikeouts. Of course, no home runs. He had 2 walks and 6 strikeouts in the real game. 11 and 2 here. And he is going to move. He was 13-0. He moves to 11-3 in the replay. So not bad. 2 games behind in the win column. So after a rough beginning, he has come around. He has definitely come around. He has won. Should have looked, but I'm going to say 7 straight. Something like that. 7 straight, maybe. No problem, Al. Appreciate you checking in. Kind of year Guidry had in 78 is almost impossible to recreate. This replay is pretty solid. I would agree. I would agree. The way it started out, I was wondering. I was really starting to question the game. Actually, I was like, man, because he was, what was he, like 4-3 at one point, something like that. And he only lost 3 games in reality, so I was really starting to wonder. But it's come around. It is playing a lot more like true to life. That's for sure. So the Yankees win this one 3-0. I appreciate you guys joining me. And I need to get the patrons here. Yeah, he did get rocked his first couple of games. Hold on one second. Oh yeah, another thing I was going to point out is on the Baseball Reference, since I figured out how to check on his midseason totals. This is where he's at right now through 16 games, coming into this game. So as you can see, I was pretty shocked. The innings pitched were exactly on the number, 126. And his hit differential, he's given up quite a few more hits than in real life. But that's starting to even out a little bit. That's going to, get a little closer, I believe. His earned runs, of course, are way off. And I think a lot of that has to do with the home run total, which is also way off. He's given up 12 in the replay. He only gave up 3 to this point. But if you look at, that's 9 different. And so that's 9 runs right there. So that closes that gap by 9. But let's say, and I didn't check, but half of those home runs had somebody on base. If you round up and say 5 more runs, so that would be 14 runs. So 14 runs would be 38 instead of 24. So then you're looking at only a 5-run differential. So I think a lot of that, those two correlate big time right there. Because, a 4 or 5-run differential, that's not that big a deal. Walks, pretty close. Strikeouts, I think he's gonna catch up a little bit here because he gained 5 on this game right here. So he's only going to be down by 3 maybe. 20, yeah. So he'll have 124 and 121. So he'll be down by 3 on strikeouts. So it's the gap's closing after that rough start. The gap is definitely closing. So I think that's pretty cool. Little deal. I did do a video on it if you're not sure what I'm talking about. Let me check something real quick here. So I need to add somebody here. Anyway, that is going to wrap this one up. You got the 9th inning. At least you got some of it. You can go back and watch anyway. So that's going to wrap this one up. Appreciate you guys watching, tuning in, and supporting the channel. Hitting the like button as always. And I'm going to get out of here for now. This is Tabletop Earl reporting live for Tabletop Baseball Plus. Until next time, you guys have a great evening, and God